Hello, welcome back to another episode of Elevate with CJ. I'm your host, CJ, and we're going to continue our series today on being overwhelmed. And we noticed from yesterday that overwhelmed is a warning sign that tells us that we are mentally and emotionally at our capacity, and we need to do something about it. And so we looked at the causes of being overwhelmed, and that was number one cause is unrealistic expectations. Another one is not setting boundaries. Another one was having too much going on, input overload, and then lastly, a cluttered environment. So we know what the causes are, we know what the warning sign is, and we started tracking and identifying what's causing us to be overwhelmed. And I hope you started that tracking sheet yesterday, and we'll continue that for the next 2 weeks in your journal, and that'll help you to become not overwhelmed. And today I want to talk to you about the feeling of being overwhelmed has less to do with the situation and more to do with our perspective. And so today I'm going to talk about 3 different things. First, we're going to look at we need to reframe our perspective on the feeling of being overwhelmed. First, we're going to challenge self-talk. What I mean by that is we say things like, I'm failing, I should do more, or I can't do this anymore, or this is too much. And we need to reframe that into a positive. I used to be a very negative person in my life. I used to always look at the glass as half empty instead of half full. And so I used to have some very negative things I would say to myself, like, oh, I'm stupid. I hate even saying these things. I'm stupid, or I can't do this, or I don't deserve to have this, or I can't achieve this, I'm not smart enough. And so when we say things like that, it causes us to be even more overwhelmed because we think that we cannot achieve the task that we have before us. And when in fact we can achieve that task. And the problem is we have to switch that around to a positive mindset. We might say, I'm frustrated right now, but I'm learning. There's a lot to do, but I'm just going to take it one task at a time. One of the things that I do that's helped me out with being overwhelmed is I get a lot of emails through my different businesses every day. With my emails, what I do, I have a rule with my email, is if I can answer it right away, I answer it right away. So no matter what it is, I'll pull it up. If it's a task I need to do, if it's something, if I can get it done in the next 5 to 10 minutes, I do it right then and there. And that keeps me from procrastinating my email and just letting it pile up. And you can do the same thing with your daily task as well. I'm a big proponent of just writing down a task sheet, order 1 through 10, and then I reorganize it. What's going to be the most effective thing for my business, effective for my family, and effective for my life. I'm a big proponent of lists, and so I like to create lists and run my day off of lists. And so reframe the way you think. Reframe how you are thinking about yourself, how you talk about yourself. Don't ever speak out loud or in your head negative things about yourself, especially because what you say to yourself, you're just ingraining, you're reprogramming your mind to think that way, and you'll start to believe it over time. And so I would encourage you never to talk bad about yourself ever again. You're always a beautiful person. You're always very smart. You're always an overachiever. You always get things done. And in the world, everything always works out for you. So the second thing, besides reframing our perspective, we need to embrace imperfection. I used to be really bad about being a perfectionist. The old saying is, anything worth doing is worth doing right. That rang through my mind continually. And as a result of that, I was a perfectionist. And you cannot be a perfectionist and start a business. I'm sorry, you can't do it. You have to have trial and error. You have to fail. And failure is just another stepping stone to getting you to where you need to be. And so you need to look at failure as an achievement. I look at failures now more so as gold medals than I do successes, because we have to learn to enjoy the journey. If you're not enjoying the journey, then what's the point? Because the whole thing with whatever your goal is, your ultimate achievement is, whether it's money, success, power, whatever it may be, is the journey itself, because you spend the most time on the journey. Once you hit to success, it's very limited. You can celebrate that for a day or two, and then you're on to your next challenge. So enjoy the journey when you're working, enjoy the process, think positively about the process, and when you fail, it's not you're a loser. It's not that you are the worst person in the world. You fail, you learn a lesson, and so you go on to the next thing and see what works and what doesn't. And so allow yourself to fail. If you give yourself an excuse. You don't know everything. All right. You know less than 1% of all knowledge on earth. I'm sure of it. If you're above 1% of all knowledge, then you're a lot smarter than I am. So I always ask myself this question when I fail at something and I'm getting down on myself, and I try not to do that at all. But if I am, because I really messed up something and it cost me some money or it cost me some time with my family, and I'm beating myself up, I'll ask myself this question: does it matter 500 years from now? And it doesn't. Matter of fact, all the people that are watching this video, most of you, if not, I'm going to say 99.99% of you, there may be one of you watching this video that's going to do something outstanding in life, and I hope there is. But for the majority of us, they're not going to remember who we are 100 years from now, much less 500 years from now. So what are you worried about failing, and who are you trying to impress? You're trying to impress somebody that's going to die just like you are someday, and their name is not going to be written in the book of legends of history. You're not going to be a Julius Caesar or Alexander the Great or Napoleon or whatever else, George Washington, whoever. And our country ain't even 250 years old. Most of you can't name the third and fourth, fifth president of the United States. And they were pretty important people. So embrace imperfection. Embrace it, because you don't know. So we need to reframe our thinking, embrace imperfection, and then we need to focus on what we can control. Please like and subscribe to this video if you haven't done so already. If you're a people pleaser like I was, it's very hard to stay focused on your projects or your business. You find yourself jumping through hoops to help others all the time, and you're wanting to please this person, that person, and even the imaginary person that's in the back of your mind that may be a parent, a sibling, a friend that's halfway across the country, and you're trying to please them because you want to be ultra successful. But you can only focus on what you can control, and we cannot control what others think about us. We cannot control how others perceive our work. We cannot control what others think about our life and how we live our life. So you need to live the best life possible according to your values and your standards. And you need to focus on what you can control. There's an old saying that used to be, I guess, popular with parenting back in the 90s, 80s, 90s. I heard it a lot as a kid growing up. You can do anything you put your mind to, and that's a bunch of bull malarkey, because I can't be the starting forward for the Houston Rockets. Why? Because I'm just barely 6 feet tall, and I'm uncoordinated all get out when it comes to shooting a basketball. Yeah, I could practice all I wanted. I could run as many wind sprints as I can, suicides or whatever you want to do. I could dribble basketballs 10 hours a day, and I'm never going to be the point guard for the Houston Rockets. All right. And just like I can't be a NASA scientist because I am not smart enough to be a NASA scientist. That's like the 1% brainiac in the world. And then, to be a fighter pilot. So something I learned, I always wanted to be a fighter pilot when I was a kid. And wanted to go into the Air Force and do that. I did go in the Air Force. I was a statistical analyst for the F-15Es, but I got to meet the pilots, which was really cool, and talk to the pilots. But what a lot of people don't know is when they go into the Air Force or to the Navy or Marine Corps or Army, and they want to be a fighter pilot or fly the Black Hawk helicopters, that's reserved for the top 1% of the pilots that go through training. I said top 1%. It's not the top 10%, it's top 1%. These guys have such quick reaction skills and they're just stupid smart. I mean, when I would talk to them, and I was young then, and I know I was talking stupid things, asking stupid questions, but when I talked to them, their mannerisms and their words and just how educated and smart they were, and they just know stuff that just comes natural to them. And so anyway, I could have never been a fighter pilot. The other thing is you have to be in top physical shape. And at that time, I was too skinny, and my eyesight isn't the best in the world, so that would disqualify me as well. So you can't do what you put your mind to. That's just impossible for a lot of different things out there. But what you can do is you can do what you can control, and you can do the best job that you can do at that. And so I would encourage you, whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever you've put your mind to that you're trying to accomplish, if you can't do it, make enough money where you can pay somebody else to do it for you so that you can accomplish that dream and that goal in your life. So what we've learned today about being overwhelmed is we need to reframe to a positive mindset, embrace imperfections, that we're not perfect, focus on what we can control, and just throw the rest to the side because we can only control what we can control. So when we reframe the way we see things, things begin to change. So note those thoughts in your journal over the next 2 weeks of how you can reframe the way you think about the situation when you become overwhelmed. So that's it for this video. And so in the next video, we're going to talk about prioritizing your time without feeling guilty or feeling overwhelmed. And so I'm going to leave that for tomorrow, and I'll look forward to seeing you then. And until then, let's elevate together. Elevate with CJ.